Well, what a delight to have someone with us today that really needs no introduction, and yet he's an aggressive guy and taken on one of the biggest crusade commitments he's ever done in his ministry's history. We are delighted to have with us today Pastor Greg Laurie. And Greg, what a delight to have you. You're looking good, man.
Thanks, Barry. It's good to be with you.
Hey, boy, 1,000 churches across the country all hooking up at the same time. This big one.
Yeah, actually, we have more than 1,000 at this point. I haven't checked recently, but it seemed like it was around 1,200 or so. And they're not all churches. Some are people just renting a venue to show this event that we're calling Harvest America. Might be a civic center. I heard about a group that in New York that are renting a auditorium, a large auditorium. So, but most of them actually are churches showing a live HD video feed of this event.
Oh, this is wonderful. Give us the date and the time again.
Well, it's August 26th, and it's 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, so you need to figure that out in your time zone. But we figure on the East Coast, it's around 7 o'clock. And, you know, the way we sort of sum this up, Perry, is it's one day, one church, and one message. And the idea is that we're gathering people together to proclaim the gospel. And then as I give the invitation in Angel Stadium, the invitation is extended wherever the people are watching. I'm looking right at the camera, I'm looking at this one right now, and I'm inviting people wherever they are, be it Chicago, Illinois, or Dallas, Texas, or Boise, Idaho, or Southern California, or upstate New York, or wherever. I'm inviting them to believe in Jesus and to actually walk forward and make a public profession of faith.
You know, Greg, I don't think we've ever seen a time of hopelessness in a country as we're seeing it now. In fact, most of the research we see says that the number one emotion in the country is despair. Would you believe that?
Yeah, I can believe it. And I think especially if you put your hope in politicians. I mean, we're obviously in the middle of a political cycle. We're going to be soon electing the next president of the United States, and we all have strong opinions on those topics, as I do as well. But this is not a political meeting, and I'm not offering a political solution, because I don't think any candidate, irregardless of what party you belong to or how you're going to vote, can answer these questions and deal with the deepest issues. This isn't an economic problem. This is not a military problem. This is not a political problem. It's not even a social problem. It's a spiritual problem. Now, I believe if we get our life right with God, it can impact our country in multiple levels, of course. But the most important thing is, do people really have a relationship with God and know Him in a personal way? I mean, you can take a lot of the social ills of our country right now and trace them directly down to the breakdown of the American family. And in some cases, even as we try to redefine the American family. And I don't know of anything that can strengthen a family more than a genuine commitment to Christ, where a man and a woman seek to love each other, and as the Bible tells them to. And I can't tell you how many families have been put together after the husband and wife have come to Christ and made a fresh commitment, and how many people have gotten off drugs, and how many people have turned from a life of crime after they've given their life to Christ. So to me, that is the heart of the problem. You know, the heart of the problem is the problem of the heart. And that's what I'm going to be talking about on August 26th at Angel Stadium for Harvest America.
Well, you've nailed it. That is so true. You know, our history is spotted with incredible turnarounds in problems and times like that we're now living, when the church began to pray, when people really began to seek God. And the Bible, as you well know, has certainly got a lot of stories in it. When we finally turned back to God, He showed up. And I can't help but think that that's the answer to our country today.
Yeah, I mean, as you look at the history of Israel, it's just a cycle you have a good king, the people turn to God. You have a bad king, the people turn away from God. They turn to God, turn away from God. Turn back to God, turn away from God. What's amazing, though, is how God continues to extend grace, how God continues to forgive and give them another chance. Look, our God is gracious. He wants us to turn to Him. He doesn't want to bring judgment, but this much we know. Judgment is inevitable. It's going to come to all the world, and that, of course, includes America. Our hope and our prayer, Perry, is that we would have at least one more revival or spiritual awakening, at least one more, before God's judgment comes upon this world. So we're praying for a spiritual awakening. Now, we're not saying that Harvest America is that awakening, because only God can send an awakening or a revival. Revival is what God does for us, but evangelism is what we do for God. So we need to get out there and do our part. We've been given our marching orders as Christians and what is called the Great Commission there in Matthew 28, to go into all the world and preach the gospel and to make disciples of all nations. So that's our job. And I'm asking everybody who's hearing this or watching this to participate in some way, shape, or form in Harvest America on August 26th. You can see if your church is involved, number one. Number two, at the very least, send a link to a friend, put it on your Facebook page, send out a tweet, or just fire up your computer. And it's also going to be on television on a number of networks that will be carrying it, including the Word Network. Find out where that, if the Word Network is carried on your satellite or your cable outlet, and invite people over to your home and watch it, or just sit with a friend in front of a laptop computer like I am right now. and you know, tell them to watch with you and see if the Lord will not speak to their heart. I mean, let's use this technology for God's glory.
Amen. Greg, thank you. I know your schedule's tight. Your passion is infectious, and we're praying with you. Please know that all of us here at the Dove Radio and TV, we're praying with you. I think we're making arrangements to air it as well, and looking forward to August 26th. I believe that the destiny of America hinges on this event. I really do.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Perry. God bless you guys.